Well, that was a wreck fest and a half for the Xfinity Series at Phoenix International Speedway. That was for sure. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, we are going to be talking about the Call A1 Before You Dig 200 at Phoenix International Speedway for the Xfinity Series, the fifth race in the NASCAR Xfinity Series season. Let's go ahead and just jump straight in. Coming in this weekend, the biggest storyline coming in the weekend for the NASCAR Xfinity Series was the fact that there was going to be a lot of traction compound that was applied to the racetrack, and we saw a ton of traction compound that was applied to the racetrack, and this actually would affect the race because there was a lot of this point in this race where there'd be a lot of clean air, and it was very, very difficult to pass, in my honest opinion, on the racetrack. So that was one of the big storylines coming in this event. Let's go ahead and start this event. So on the pole for this event, Daniel Hemric was started on the pole. Then Cindric, he made a 3-wide move to the inside, and he would take the race lead in the early stages of this event. The first caution in this race would come out for competition yellow, and there was actually apparently Matt Mills was blowing up early in the race. He would come back later in this race, but he would be like 39 or 40 laps in. It seemed like he actually ended up blowing up, which would take him out of contention for this race. And then we would go back racing on lap 27 this event, and Cindric would keep the race lead after the competition yellow, and then he would end up winning stage 1 in this race. This would be the fifth straight race he's won a stage. He's won a stage in every single race up this point this year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, so he's had a really good start to the 2021 year, and he would, like I said, end up winning stage 1 in this race. Meanwhile, Jesse Little on the last lap of the stage 1, he got a little bit loose and actually hit the outside wall really, really hard. I'm surprised the TV did not catch that, to be honest with you. And I was really surprised by that, by the way. And yeah, that would happen, and that would kill Jesse Little's chances. He would, I think, actually end up falling out of the race. We would then go back racing on lap 57 of this race, and then the next caution this race would come out, I think, for Dexter Bean. Dexter Bean, he got a little bit of sideways on the restart, and that would bring out the caution of the race for that. Then we go back racing for a few laps, and if you notice at the time, going on during that time, Noah Gragson actually was starting to blow up. He was actually dropping fluid and water on the racetrack, and then he officially blew up, and he'd be the first junior motorsports car to basically blow up at the end of this race, and that would kill his opportunity. He actually ended up finishing last this race because of that, which was really, really unfortunate for Noah Gragson. But yeah, that would take him out of contention this race. And then we go back racing, green flag racing on lap 77 of this event, and then we saw definitely some interesting things happen. Daniel Hemric would lead the next portion, and he actually would end up holding off in winning stage 2 of this event. So Daniel Hemric won his second stage of the win of this year. And then pit road happened, and Daniel Hemric would lose a couple positions on the pit stop, and Justin Allgaier would assume the race lead, and he would dominate the next portion of this event. Meanwhile, Michael Annett, he actually also would have a mechanical issue, seemed like an engine problem as well, that would take him out of contention in this race, which was really misfortunate because I think he was running near the top 10 most of the day. But unfortunately, he'd fall out of the race and would never have a chance to recover at the end of this event. And then we go back racing here for a few laps, and around 75 laps to go in this race, the wrecks would start happening. The next caution race to come out, Ryan Vargas would drop some fluid, and then Tommy Joe Martins, he actually would get into the outside wall. The good news for him is Tommy Joe Martins really did not get a lot of damage, and he would still be able to continue on this race. And then we go back racing with around 71 laps to go in this race. And a few laps later, because everyone decided to top on pit road, I'm surprised some people decided to not stay out to try to strategize this event because they only had 4 sets of tires, and they used their last set of tires. So that really surprised me more than anything. Yeah, Tommy Joe Martin, like I said, would get in the outside wall. And then a few laps later in the ensuing restart, Harrison Burton would get a little bit loose going into turn number 2. That would hurt him a little bit, but he would still be able to continue on. No one else really got damage in this race. Then we would go back racing on lap number 145. This one with 56 laps to go. And the next caution would come out with around 52 laps to go in this race. Santino Ferrucci basically crowded Josh Berry up on the outside wall, and then Josh Berry would crowd down and would hit Blaine Perkins and give him some damage, and then Josh Berry would spin out, and then Josh Berry gave him the double birds, which I thought that was very funny, same thing that Christian Eckes did last year. He gave the double bird Santino Ferrucci because he basically crowded him up, man. I mean, that was absolutely Santino's fault because he gave him really no room, and I know he's trying to get in the trash count by Santino Ferrucci. He was having a really good run, running top 15 most of the day and top 20 most of the day. But he basically gave him no room, and that really cost him an up. Josh Berry was having a really good run. He had to go to pit road, unfortunately, because he had a loose wheel, which that would hurt his opportunity, and that would hurt a really bad day he was having. And then we go back to green, 45 laps to go, and we'd race for a few laps, I think at the time with Cindric being the leader of this race. And then what ended up happening was A.J. Allmendinger made a misjudgment. Brandon Jones on the outside coming off of turn number 2, and then A.J. Allmendinger, he just drove up and misjudged it, and got into Brandon Jones and took Brandon Jones out. Brandon Jones is definitely not happy. I think the sun was blaring down, and it was definitely Allmendinger's fault. He didn't mean to do that. It was just an accident, but it was still his fault. Allmendinger came up in him and wrecked him. Dinger's either wrecking, man, or causing wrecks, or he's winning races, man, because unfortunately cost Brandon Jones, who was already having a pretty good day. He was recovered after a speeding penalty and was recovering to a really strong run, top 2 or 3 car most of the day. And if that happened to him, was a really, really mind killer of this race. And then we go back racing with 29 laps to go in this event, and Austin Cindric would have the race lead. And it seemed like he was going to run away with this race. And then with 9 laps to go, Alex Labbe would actually spin on the back, going down the back, going on turn number 4 at the racetrack. He would end up spinning into the outside wall. That would kill his day and hurt his chances. And that would be the final caution in this race. And then the final restart was absolutely nuts in this event. Jeb Burton went down to the inside line on this restart, because this restart was absolutely crazy. Jeb Burton goes in the inside line. He comes up. He collects Justin Haley and Daniel Hemrick. Meanwhile, going down to turn number 2, Justin Allgaier, who was really, really fast all day, he actually ended up getting in the outside wall and damaging after having a really strong run today. He got a little aggressive. He got too much into the trash can at the juice, and that would hit the outside wall, and that would absolutely hurt his opportunity and kill a chance for him to win the race, because he looked really, really fast. And then Ty Gibbs shoots through, but coming off the final corner at the end of the day, coming down the front stretch, Austin Cindric is able to avoid the confrontation and the conflict behind him and all the carnage that was happening behind him on the sloppy restart. And Austin Cindric becomes the first repeat winner of 2021. He wins the second race of 2021 here at Phoenix International Speedway. So let's go ahead and get into the results of this race. Also, congratulations on Austin Cindric winning his second race. I think the fact that Austin Cindric won this race today, he was my pick coming in this event. The fact that Austin Cindric won this race today should scare the field a lot, because Austin Cindric, man, he looks really, really hungry right now. He's looked really fast in all 5 races. He could have won Las Vegas last week. He could have won quite a few races this year. He could have won Daytona Road Course. He looked really, really sturdy in this event. And I think that the field should be really, really scared right now, because he looks like he has the car to beat to win a title. He deserves to win because he dominated this race. I mean, today he led 119 laps, deserved to win in my opinion. He is your winner today. Congratulations, Austin Cindric. So let's go through the race results of this event. Austin Cindric wins. Congratulations, Austin Cindric, in dominating fashion. Ty Gibbs finishes second, man. Ty Gibbs is about a 4th or 5th place car most of the day, because Clean Air, I think the long runs, this car was really, really fast, but there were not enough long runs in the middle of this race for him to get up there. But a 2nd place run, man. Fantastic run for Ty Gibbs. I can't say enough about Ty Gibbs, man. This kid is really, really showing what he is capable of. Great run today for Ty Gibbs, man. 2nd place. Got a lot of good things to say about him. He won the ARCA race last night, and to get back up with a 2nd place run, finishing 1st, 2nd in the first 2 events. This kid's here to stay, man, and I think he will go full-time in Xfinity next year. Brandon Brown with a career 3rd place finish, man. He had a good run today, too, top 10, but with all the cars happening, he was able to go up to 3rd place. Career best finish for Brandon Brown. He's looking really, really strong this year, and those cars definitely are faster. 3rd place, strong run for him. He didn't deserve a 3rd place finish. I think he deserved like 8th or 9th place finish, but still a great run for Brandon Brown regardless. Riley Herbst finally has a solid day, man. Gets a top 5, first top 5 of the year, first top 10 of the year in 5 races. To be honest with you, Riley Herbst did not really deserve it. He basically was like a 15th place car modus today. With all the carnage and stuff, Riley Herbst able to get a top 5. So regardless of what happens, he gets a top 5, strong run for him. A.J. Allmendinger finishes 5th. Good run for Dinger. Jeb Bird finished the 6th, the one that caused all the carnage. Bailey Curry from My Carmen Racing finished the 7th. Absolute strong run for Bailey Curry. Justin Allgaier, even though he had his issues, he gets a top 10. You know, a little bit of bounce back run for him. He's needed a good run, man, and gets an 8th place finish. Not a bad run regardless of the end of this race. 9th place goes to Brett Mauve. He bounced back actually from spinning earlier. Forgot to mention this. He has contact off of the guy who finished 10th. Who was Jeremy Clements. So that ended up having Jeremy Clements finish in 7th as well. Solid run for Jeremy Clements. Mysider finishes 11th. He's kind of struggled since his win. I expected Mysider to have some growing pains this year because he hasn't really had a lot of experience, but 11th place, not bad for him. Harrison Bird, after his spin, he bounces back to 12th place run. Really strong for him. JJ Yeley gets 13th place in Rick Ware Racing Equipment. I think he should be running full-time in Xfinity for this team right now because he's looked really, really good to start this year. And that's not a fluke either. He was running like 11th or 12th most of the day and was having a really solid run. That team should definitely be proud. And a great run for JJ Yeley. I would have never used to say that back in the day. But 13th place for him, that is really solid in my honest opinion. 14th place goes Timmy Hill. Timmy Hill gets the top 15. How about that for MBM? Nice to see that. 15th place goes Santino Ferrucci, another top 15 solid run. Solid last couple races for Santino Ferrucci, man. He's doing a really good job. He's getting the best side equipment in 15th place. is solid for Santino Ferrucci. For a guy that doesn't have no practice qualifying, solid run for Santino Ferrucci. 16th place goes to Colby Howard. Tommy Joe Martins bounced back to 17th place run. Again, they can definitely build on to 17th place. They need to have good runs like this. Even with the bad luck, they're still finishing top 20. Can't really say anything bad about that. Seven Parsons finishes 18th. Jeffrey Hunter finishes 19th. And Jay Buford finishes 20th in this race. 21st goes to Josh Williams. 22nd, Landon Castle. 23rd place goes to Daniel Hemrick after his issues. Hemrick is going to win a race here at some point, man. He looked pretty decent in the early portion of this race, but kind of fell back. And the car just kind of fell off for him in the third stage, man. He looked really strong early. But like I said, the car kind of fell back and took him out of contention. 23rd place, not a fantastic run, but they can bounce back and learn from this. Blaine Perkins finished 24th. Joe Graff Jr. finished 25th. Justin Haley finishes 26th. Greg Alding finishes 27th. David Starr finishes 28th. 29th place goes to Dexter Beam. 30th place goes to Ryan Vargas. 31st, Loris Hasemans. 32nd, Allison Bay. 33rd, Brandon Jones. 34th, Kyle Weatherman. 35th place goes to Matt Mills. 36th, Josh Berry. 37th, Ryan Seek. He actually got into the outside wall because he decided to stay out in that last pit stop. I really don't understand why he decided to do it. Well, he didn't stay out, but he took no tires, and that really killed his opportunity. He finished 37th. Michaelin, after his engine failure, finishes 38th. 39th place goes to Noah Grayson, and Jess Still finishes 40th. Man, Junior Motorsports today, they were absolutely horrendous in this race. So, yeah, after this race, Austin, no surprise, is currently points by 47 points. I just checked the point standings, man. He's 47 points ahead. Wow, he's the guy to beat right now. So, let's talk about this race a little bit more as well. I'm going to be real with y'all with this one. I thought the race was I didn't think the race was really, really great, to be honest. Clean air mattered a lot more, and I think the traction compound, they should have added less traction compound than they did. Apparently, they added a lot of traction compound this morning for the race to happen, and to be perfectly honest with you, except Bristol, in my honest opinion, because it works out perfectly for that track. I think every other track for trash compound does not work very well. And if we didn't have as much trash compound as we did, like the Spring Cup race did not have that much trash compound. But this race, in my opinion, it wasn't really great, to be honest with you. I expected a little bit more. There were definitely points in this race that were really, really good, and I thought the restarts are fantastic because they fanned out on the restarts, and that was really, really crazy to watch. Really, other than the restarts, to be honest with you, I didn't think this race is absolutely really, really great, to be honest with you. So my thoughts and my score of tonight's race, I'm going to give this race a 6.5 out of 10. I expect a little bit more, to be honest with you. I think that this arguably has been the worst. I think this has been the worst Xfinity Series race of the year so far. It still wasn't a terrible race, to be honest with you, but I expected more. I hope the Xfinity Series can turn it around, man, because I thought this race was not as good as it could be, but next race at Atlanta, I think it will be. Should be an all-right race for Xfinity, even though the track is so worn out, and it probably is too much worn out, in my honest opinion, so I don't think Atlanta is going to be great. But yeah, once again, huge congratulations to Austin Cindric on winning his second race here and becoming the first driver to have repeat wins in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2021. So, anyway, that is going to be for tonight's race review from Phoenix International Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on so you can be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links description below for that. And comment about your thoughts on tonight's race. What are your thoughts about Austin Cindric winning tonight's race here at Phoenix International Speedway? And what are your thoughts about the race in general? Let me know your score in the comments below. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like so YouTube can recommend more of these great videos out to you guys. If you do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.